Alright, I'm ready to get started if you are. I got liquid white over the whole canvas. Here's my palette. I got different colors already pre-mixed. And I am going to start with some pink. I've been on a pink roll for some reason here lately in my sky. I really like it. I mean, that's especially for a mountain painting, because I like it really light behind my mountains. And this pink is a really nice light color to put behind your mountains. And that's why I've been using it a lot, I guess. I made quite a bit today, more than I really need, and hopefully I can use it for another painting. I'm not sure really how low to bring it, I should say, so I'm going to bring it down a little further than I probably normally would. Pretty sure I don't need it this low, but you never know. I'll start transitioning to some blue here in a minute. As soon as I get this pink about where I want it, then I'll blend it all together. I'll bring it up a little higher. Okay, let's start hitting a little phthalo blue. If I can get me a little bit out. That was more than a little bit, but that's how it works. It's hard to get a little bit with a brush like this. I just want to put it in here and just kind of, I'll blend it up here in a minute. I usually start with a 1-inch brush, and I probably should have today. And I place the collars where I really want them at. It's okay though. Let me get a little Prussian blue. Let's make it even darker up in the corners. I like my corners real dark. Across the top. Bring it down a little bit on the sides here. Okay, let me switch brushes. I'm going to get me a real nice clean one here, one of my new ones. Hopefully it's nice and clean. I am going to start here in the pink, and we're going to work out. Crisscross strokes. Do not start in the dark and work your way down. That would be tragic. You don't want to do that. We're going to try to soften everything up real nice. Take us a few minutes, but we'll get it. Wipe your brush off. And when everything's softened. Always start in your lightest colors and work your way up. Pretty much always. I'm sure there's exceptions to everything, but for the most part, that's what you do. Just blend it all real nice. See, this is what I'm picking up. You want to keep your brush as clean as you can. For as long as you can. As clean as you can for as long as you can. Let me stand back and take a peek at it here. I think that's probably okay. Okay, I'm going to set that brush down, and let's get our knives. Yeah, I just found a brush laying back here. Good for me, right? Okay, today's mountain. Actually what I did, I got black, Prussian blue, and brown instead of red this time. We're just going to go for a different color. I made a lighter color here in case I want a distant mountain, and all I did was take color out of this, put it in this, and add some white. And this was the pink, obviously. I'm thinking about maybe a mountain back in here, maybe further back. It don't have to be a gigantic mountain or anything. Let's see what we can come up with here. Remember, there is liquid white on this canvas today. I don't use it all the time, for sure I don't. Mainly because I'm just trying to teach people that if they have trouble making their paint break, they don't have to use it. I mean, that's not a rule. People use it because they like to use it. That's not a rule of any type. Let's go ahead and pull that out. But I have been, this painting and another one I just did, I did use liquid white. Just because it's fun to do a lot of times. It's fun to use. I mean, it blends like, man, like you wouldn't believe. I mean, you can see, look how that's blending. If you have trouble making your paint break on the mountains, don't use liquid white. So much easier not to use it if you don't have to. I'll bring this on down. I'm not sure what we're doing. I'm winging this as usual. I'm just going to make things up as I go along. Hopefully it works out well. That's all you can hope for, right? Let's go ahead and put some color on this. I got some brown and white. That's really all this is right here. And let's pull this out some. We're going to go ahead and do this mountain, then I'll put this one in. Yeah, I think that's how we're going to do it. Apparently, because I'm doing it. Keep your paper towels real handy. Keep them real close to your side. This is just more or less a background mountain right here. I think that might be okay right there. I don't think I really want to do the shadow part quite yet. I don't think. Let me see what we're going to come up with here first. Like I said, I'm winging this. I got to figure this out as we're going along. Let's put one right here. Put a bump right there. This is the darker color that I'm using. Remember, 2 mountain colors, one light, one dark. Let's bring it on up right here. And all you really need to be concerned about is the top. Because you can pull your collars out. And I mean pull them out, what we did right there with our brush. Okay, I don't know, maybe that's all we're going to do. I'll put another little dip right here in case we want it. Pull as much paint off as you possibly can. Keep your paper towels in front of you, are real handy. The less paint, the better. Let's go ahead and pull that out. We're just going to use the same brush. I believe this is what I think it's, yeah, it has to be what I just used. Let's go ahead and pull this out. This mountain should be in front of that one. I might make it taller. Hang on a second. So this is how you adjust. If you don't like it, fix it now. It's not that I don't like it, I just think I might make it a little taller right here. I may even connect. Make a connection, my friend. We could bring out a little piece right here. Yeah, a little taller. I like tall mountains. They look majestic. Tall mountains look majestic. And like I said, I'm not sure exactly how far to bring it down, but we're going to bring it down to where we think that's enough. And we're going to determine that just from using our imagination, where enough is. Let me stand back and take a look. I think I might bring this down a little more right here. I'll bring it down because I don't know, and this will cover me. We usually put dark down here anyway, so this don't make no difference. I mean, this whole canvas may be a mountain, I don't know. When you wing it, this is what happens. You just gotta, you figure it out as you go along. Okay, I think for now that's probably okay. Let's go ahead and get our knife back out. Hopefully I got enough of this brown made. Let's start right here. And you are literally, and I mean literally, barely touching this. That is the truth there. I mean, I got 3 fingers, I'm just grazing it, barely touching it. I almost dropped the knife a lot of times. I'm sure I will at some point. I might have to make some more brown, I got to tell you that. I'm quickly running out already. Bad on my part, isn't it? I thought I made enough, but you know how it is. See, this is all I got. Just bring it on down like so. I'm going to bring this down like this. I want to make some of this real quick here in a minute. Running out. Let me make some more real quick. I'm just taking white. Here's my brown. Little tiny bit of brown. And I'm just going to mix it till it looks about right. That's close. That's pretty close to what I had, if I ain't mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, I think it'll work. It's a little lighter. Let me put a little bit more brown in it. I want to get it as close as I can, not that it makes that much of a difference. That's just what I want to do, because it don't make that much of a difference. Let's bring these together down in here. Go ahead and hit this. Go ahead and hit this. I gotta pull my painting out a little bit. It's sitting back. I can't get to the bottom. Much better. I'll bring this one over a little bit this way. Okay, for now, I think I'm gonna work on the dark side. For now, I think this might be okay. So what I'm gonna do for the back mountain, I'm gonna use this collar and add some white. This is the collar I actually used back here. I'm gonna add some white to it and let's see what happens. It might be too dark, I don't know. Let's just touch it and see. No, it ain't too dark, I don't think. May not be white enough. You have to be able to see it at home. That's my object. If you can't see it at home, then it's doing me no good. I have to get my small knife out for some of these little areas. I may brighten that up a little bit here in a minute. I want to get it the way I want it. Now you can see it a little better. So a little more. Okay, now for that, I don't know, let's try the same color. It's not too bad. Let's put a little bit of the dark in it. Just a little. Little tiny dab of white. Let's see what this gives us. Let me test it. Yep, not light enough. Just mixing it up, that's all I'm doing. Get your color the way you want it. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. Let's try this out. Just keep chugging along till you get it. I'll have to darken the collar up a little bit down in here. Stand back and take a gander here real quick. Need to start getting a little darker here. Clean my knife off real fast. Let me get my little brush out here. Now let me take some of this color, back to this color. Okay, now let's get back into this other color here. This is coming toward us here. It's going to be a little darker. Okay. Now let me take one knife. Guess I didn't need it, did I? Let's take some pure white. Let me find me a spot. Let's take some pure white. And give it a skim over the top. Show that there's snow up here on the top of this. Okay, before I do that though, let me touch up on some of this stuff right here. I like my mountains to look good. It takes a little time. You gotta touch up wherever you think you need it. It's like these straight, see how this line here is kind of straight? I'm gonna pull some of the brown over top of the blue. Even right here. Okay. Right here maybe. Maybe just a little bit in the back. Let me stand back and take a look. I think that's probably okay. All right, ready to get started on something else here. I am going to take some black and I'm going to form a little bit of land right here. Probably like this. I'll let this painting sit overnight. I really shouldn't have done that, but didn't have time. Because it's a lot better to work with if you don't do that. Because see, now it's kind of tacky and sticky, but we'll make it work. But it's better if you don't let this is wet on wet, so it's better if you don't let it sit overnight. We'll do what we can here. We'll get it one way or the other. We'll just pack the paint on if we have to. Yeah, it's going to be a piece of land. I think I'm going to make this water. I'm just trying to go for a different type of composition. That's really all I'm doing. Just something different to look at besides the same old stuff. Let's take a little black, a little green. Even this paint here's tacky. I don't know why, really. I would think it would not be, but it is. Oh, let's start. This is just bushes, trees maybe, whatever. Probably trees. We can make it whatever we want it to be, but I think it might be trees. Maybe a little yellow in there, maybe some ochre. see what a little ochre will do. A little bit darker. A little darker. We don't want them to be even, so let's make them kind of uneven here a little bit. Let's put some stuff in the water. I'm gonna make this water. That's why I said we're gonna go for something that looks a little different today. I'll put some of that there. Just bring it down a little bit. Just put you some color underneath the trees that you want to keep. And these are going to be our reflections. We're going to pull them down in just a minute. Black, sap green. Okay, let's take let's touch a little yellow on that. Clean my brush. This is my granddaughter's brush again. It's the only brush I got that's this size. I need to really get more of them. Let's just touch it and just put a little bit of yellow in it. Gotta have a little color, mainly on the right side of these trees. I mean, we could throw a red bush in if we wanted. I'll definitely do that sometimes. Let's put a little bit down here in the water. Okay, let's go ahead and get us a clean brush. I think I might go ahead and hold these paper towels real quick. Yeah, this is clean. And we got to determine where we want our reflections to start. I'm wiping this off every time because this has got a lot of paint on. I just put a lot of paint on there, as you can see. Keep your brush nice and clean. Now you're going to do a side stroke here. Wipe it off. That's probably good enough. You gotta be careful not to wipe your reflections away. I've done that plenty of times, trust me. Let's get us some white. Let's make our water line. Okay, that's all right. I was going to say there's a spot there, but I think that's going to be covered. Just go ahead and put us a little water line in here, just like you always do. I got a little pink in my water because there's a little pink in the sky. Let me find me a good fan brush here. I don't know if I have a good one, but let's find a fan brush. I beat these things up something awful. I'd like to get one a little bigger. I'm not sure this is bigger, but we're going to use it. Let's go ahead and put some, I think I might put my grass down first. I'm going to have some pine trees here. I'm going to cover this area right here. So let's see what happens. I don't know how well this is going to stick. Oh, that sticks nice so far. Sun's coming down this way. Yeah, let's just keep doing this right now. We'll make this area here a little brighter. get us a little ochre. I was just really curious to see if this paint was going to stick on this, or I let this sit overnight. I know you think it would, and I really would too, but you get surprised sometimes with stuff. Pine trees are pretty much going to be covering most of that. Let's get some green. It gets darker as it comes towards you. It's not very dark, is it? Let's put a little Prussian blue in it if I can muster up enough. Almost looks like I got my brush stuck in some white paint somewhere. I don't think I did. Yeah, you want it darker down in here. I may have to grab some. I'll probably go over this again, maybe what areas that are showing, because I want it darker than that. I've just ran out of Prussian blue. Let's go ahead and do some pine trees. Find me a brush. Okay, let's take some black and some green. Let me stand back and take a look at it here real quick. Okay, let's go ahead, let's put one right here. Let's see, I believe one right here. Maybe taller. I just worked on this a little bit, so this is kind of moist, wet, basically. Probably have to go over it again. Let's put us another one right here. Right there. Maybe I can get 3 more. I'm running out of black. Ain't that crazy? I might put a pretty good size one right here. Let's put one right here. Yeah, this is just a different type of comp, just something different. And as I've said before, it's not necessarily the mountains that give you a problem. It is if you don't know how to do them, but if it's not the mountains, it's just down here, because you got to come up with different stuff all the time. I'll do one more, I think. Let's see, I want a big one right here, but that would be, it's too late now. I've already touched it. Too late. We're committed. We've committed ourselves now. I want to get a reload of some black. All right, didn't take long, did it? I'm probably going to have to wipe some of this off with a paper towel. And that's what you do if it's too wet, and it is. I can tell you that. I can safely say this is too wet. So what I'll do is I'll get me a clean paper towel. I'm doing this in case someone doesn't know how to do it. I'm gonna get a clean paper towel. This is a shop towel is what this is. Get them at the car parts store or Walmart. Every country has a Walmart probably. And I'm going to lay this on here gently. And I'm doing this because this painting is sat overnight, and some of this, it's not dry, but it's drier than yesterday. And I'm just going to do this and get rid of some of the excess oil that's on there. I ain't worried about the grass down here. See, I took that much oil off of it, and it helps. Let me try to get some of these trees right here. I just want to get some of this off here. That's what I just got off. Just make sure you have a clean side you're putting it on. If not, it's going to get on these mountains, and that would not be good. Just try to get it on the tree best you can. I'm just trying to dry this up. Just dry it up a little bit. Okay, there's that. Now, let me go over this with some green and yellow a little bit. See, I'm gonna go over this grass. I ain't worried about that. I may put some stumps down there. I mean, there's no telling by the time it's all said and done. I'm just gonna take a little sap green and yellow, and I'm gonna go over these trees again and just kind of try to brighten them up a little bit. Put some green in it. See, I don't know if you can see that green, and that's black. Just put some green in it. Make it look more like a pine tree. Almost out of yellow. I'm almost out of everything. I got my grandkids coming in Saturday. This is Thursday. I'm trying to get as much painting as I can get done today and tomorrow, which is Friday, before they get here. Because when the grandkids are here, you don't get no painting done, that's for sure. And that's okay. If I can just muster a little bit more for this tree, we'll be good. Yeah, I'm just trying to put some color in it. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and put some highlights on our pine trees here. You know how we do it if you've seen me before. Take a brush, put a lot of cad yellow light on it. Keep a paper towel in one hand. Sun's coming down this way. And we're just going to start touching the sides of our pine trees and putting some highlights on it. As I've said before, I like doing it this way. I think it looks good. I mean, someday I may change. I may not. I don't know. You can do it however you want to do it. Everybody does things different. This is just how I do it. You have to keep reloading your brush. Because as you know, we just put these down. We just put these pine trees in here and they're really wet. Okay, I'll go ahead and finish this one right here. See, it pulls the trees. It defines where each tree is. You can plainly see where the trees are now. Yeah, I don't like these paintings to sit overnight, not when you're doing a wet on wet. I don't mind if it's not a wet on wet, but it kind of messes up the liquid white and liquid clarity. Let it sit too long. I just couldn't get it done. It happens. See, I'm going to stop right there on them two trees because I'm going to assume this tree is blocking the sun from that goes to those two trees. If that makes any sense. And we just keep working our way down. Don't forget to keep wiping your brush off. Put some back in here too, don't just do the edges. Well folks, that looks like a wrap. I think it turned out pretty good. That's a wet on wet. Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for more future videos. And thanks for watching.